One thing, I watched the Olympics when I was in 8th grade, and I watched the World Cup, and I was watching the TV, and they were doing the gold medal game, and it was actually a lot of the teachers will remember because they're a lot older than y'all, and they will remember the Brady Chastain World Cup. I remember on the broadcast, so I was listening. I was in 8th grade, so I was 15 years old. I was close to your guys' age. I remember on the broadcast they said that the girls stopped drinking carbonation. That all while they trained, they did not drink a sip of carbonation because it hurt their conditioning. Well, I'm an 8th grader, and I know what I want to do. I know what I want to be. And so literally, that was the last time I ever touched a sip of carbonation. I was 15 years old.
How?
No, none. Not one. And again, but that's a good question, but why did I do that? Because I realized that in life, I'm going to have to sacrifice some things if I want to get where I want to go. Like if you want to be a great student, sometimes you got to sacrifice some friend time to do your homework, don't you? That's a part of life. I mean, so I realized that right then. I realized, and I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not gonna. If that's going to hurt my conditioning, I'm not going to drink that stuff. And I stopped. So what I want you guys to realize is y'all are going to have stuff in your life as you go along. You got to figure out what your carbonation is. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out what is important to you that you need to get rid of. Because we all have bad habits. I got bad habits. Y'all got bad habits. If we can find those things and we can start to work on them and start to make them better and better and better and make our weaknesses better, obviously in the long run we're going to be a lot more successful. We're not going to be perfect, but we're going to be a lot more successful. So that's an idea of my mentality and how I was as an 8th grader. So I told y'all my dream, right? What was it?
Play in the NFL.
That was my dream. So I got to my sophomore year in high school, and I wasn't good enough to play varsity, and I wasn't, and I was kind of in between JV and varsity because I was a backup. So I was on the football team, but I didn't play. Well, I didn't play, so what happened? I got frustrated. I got upset. I let it bother me, and I went to my coach and I said, Coach, and y'all know all this I put into it. Y'all know what I've said since I was 6 years old. I went to my coach and I said I quit. And I quit football after my sophomore year of high school. And I said, I don't want to do it. You know, I'm not performing. I don't get to play, blah, blah, blah. And then I had a teacher named Eddie Shaddix. And you guys don't know Eddie Shaddix, but Eddie Shaddix is a guy that came into my life that believed in me, that poured into me. He's like, you know what? Just come and start working out with me. And so I met him in the wintertime and we started lifting weights. And then through the spring, we started lifting weights. And he just kept pouring into me and he kept loving on me. And one thing I want y'all to realize while we're in this podium, because some of us get too cool for school and some of us don't realize how much sacrifice all these teachers make in the back for y'all. I mean, all these teachers pour into y'all. They have to do lessons. They have to grade homework. They have to do all that stuff. And then they have to go home and pour into their own families. And if I didn't have Eddie Shaddix in my life, I wouldn't be talking to y'all right now. So those teachers, first of all, give them a round of applause.
Except for you, Miss Waters. Fuck you. Fuck all you.
These teachers that pour into you, they're there for you guys. So whenever you do face something, guys, and you're going through something hard, they've talked to so many kids in the past. And they can help you, and they can help your attitude and your efforts, right? Because they can get you focused. Because a lot of times, what happened with me? I lost focus, and I quit, right? So he got me back on track. And, you know, Coach Shaddix got me to come back out for football. My junior year, I started playing, and then after that season, I started getting recruited by the University of Georgia and all the different schools around the country. And, you know, one thing that was kind of cool was, I think all of us naturally, we like to measure ourselves against people, right? You start being recruited by Georgia and you start going to camps and you start doing the vertical testing and they see how tall you are and they see how big you are and They're like, oh, how fast do you run the 40? And they do those tests, and then they start to kind of put you in these boxes of, you know, he can do this, he can't do that. And then they start to rank you. You know, then next comes the stars. Y'all heard about like the 5-star rankings, 4-star rankings, which means you're kind of a big deal. You know, 5 stars good, 4 stars still good, 3 stars pretty good. And then you get where I was at. I was a 2-star. But I was a star though. I mean, I had some stars, but you know, you start getting compared to these other folks. And again, one thing that I saw and that I realized was even the 5-star guys that were really, really talented and probably more talented than me, when those folks didn't have their attitude right and they didn't have their effort right, guess what happened? I got to beat them. I outworked them. I beat them to where they were supposed to go. I won more than they won because I outworked them. We're not all going to be 6'4". We're not all going to be 6'1". We're not all going to be talkative. Sometimes we're shy. Sometimes we don't look the part. Sometimes we are the part. You know, I mean, but I want you guys to understand